still in studio, senior correspondent Owen Alterman. Owen, what is abundantly clear, and there are so many questions right now, but what is clear is when Donald Trump says he's going to do something, it seems he is going to follow up.
Well, that was the pattern in Venezuela, Benita, but he's, I think, going about it in a wrong way. You know, Stephen Miller, the senior White House advisor, in a sense, went off the reservation in his interview over the last day or two in CNN. Benita, what usually happens in these situations is when you do something that has questionable validity under international law, you make up a reason why it's okay. That's what happened in Venezuela, right? The United States takes Nicolas Maduro, but there's a legal memo to explain why it's okay, right? Because he has these charges in New York court and he does the perp walk, and that's why this was done. That's what the administration should be doing. On Greenland, Donald Trump starts to go there by saying that the United States needs it for its national security, starting to lay the groundwork for some kind of self-defense argument. But what does Stephen Miller go out? He says, we're powerful, we have a bigger army, and we can just take it. That's not the way to go about it. The way to go about it, Joe says in his piece, that Donald Trump's that the future of Greenland depends on what Donald Trump wants for his legacy. But what Donald Trump wants for his legacy also depends on what the people of Greenland want. Here's the opening. The Danes have basically said that they're not going to decide what the future of Greenland is. Those 56 or 57,000 people in Greenland, we're seeing those flags right on the screen, those incredible, stunning pictures of the island. Those are the people who are going to decide their own future. So what the United States should do is go and try to convince them why they should want America, to turn around the numbers from that graphic. So it's not 85% against, that it's 49% against, and that there could be a referendum and they could willingly, by their own volition, join the United States, because it's far-fetched to expect the United States to send its military to Greenland. There are too many costs to be paid, and we heard what those would be from the Danish Prime Minister. The better way to go about it is to just open up the wallet, spend a whole lot of money in Greenland, change the incentives for the people living there. And Benita, the population of Greenland, 56 or 57,000, that's the size of a neighborhood in Petah Tikva here in Israel. This is something that's doable for the world's largest economy and the world's leading superpower. That's what I would tell Donald Trump to do if this was his goal and you were asking me how to go about it. Not try to threaten the use of the military, but to try to just take out a wallet, because your wallet, not only is your army bigger than Denmark's, but so is your wallet, and to try to find a way to those people's hearts, maybe not formally joining the United States, but being independent, but being under strong U.S. influence.
Circling back, though, to Venezuela and what the latest developments mean for the people there right now. Nicolas Maduro and his wife in New York, interim leader Delcy Rodriguez, tending to sound a little bit more open to Trump administration policies. One certainly can't blame her when you see the images of what happened to her predecessor. But what does it mean right now for the people of Venezuela going forward?
Look, obviously, this is a huge open question, and a lot of what Donald Trump has done in Venezuela is going to be judged by the result. Yes, the large geopolitical result, but also the result in Venezuela itself. I do think, given what the United States has done, we could discuss whether it was a good idea or a bad idea, but given what Donald Trump decided to do, I do think he's right to try to work with the structure and the regime that's in place, because otherwise it simply opens up a vacuum. It raises the chances of a civil conflict. Again, those risks, of course, are there, but he can minimize the risk by trying to give incentives. And you mentioned, Benita, the incentives are pretty strong on Delcy Rodriguez right here, to give incentives for her and for the pyramid under her to work with Trump and to try to use them to run the country, maintain public order, while the United States tries to get what it wants out of the situation. Is the strategy going to work? Of course, we'll have to see. There certainly are going to be losers from this path of action of the United States. And a lot of those losers have guns and can organize. And we've seen this in country after country, and have every incentive to try to go out and to oppose this because they don't have much to lose. So the Trump administration will have to try to be creative in figuring out either how to use carrots to get them onto its side or use sticks to put them down. That seems to be the next challenge. But yes, given what the United States has done, it does seem to me that from a realpolitik perspective, better to work with her than to work with the opposition.
Very briefly, those calling for America First policies, their thoughts right now and the impact it's having on Donald Trump.
Donald Trump has always been caught in his mind, and our loyal viewers will have heard me say this before, between his two competing instincts, his America First instinct and his America Strong instinct. And there is a constant, perpetual battle in his mind between the two, a yin and yang in fighting with each other in a war that has no end. In this case, the America Strong instinct, Benita, won out. But of course, those who who cling to Donald Trump's America First instinct are going to be unhappy, but history shows that they will have another day to try to have the pendulum swing in a different direction, whether it's on Venezuela specifically or Donald Trump's foreign policy more broadly.
Senior Correspondent Owen Alterman, appreciate the update and your insights as always. Thank you so much.